How many stories in this jump? We got 3 stories.
Not to brag, but I used to be a professional
this
beta
nigga
tester.
Oh my god.
Yikes. Oh my god.
We found you in a catatonic state, lying next to your computer. You'd lost a lot of blood.
Catatonic, let's spell it. What do you say? Catatonic. Alright. C, cat. A, cat. T. I ain't gonna lie, my skin look kinda good. Yo, it's your boy Juj back with another video. Today's video is gonna be lit as ever. If you're new, make sure you subscribe to say number litness, love, and happiness on this channel. Disclaimer before I continue this intro, my nose is extremely stuffed, so I sound like somebody's holding my nose like this. I can't help it, okay? My nose is messed up. Fight me. But anyways, today we'll be reacting to something scary. It's actually a very rainy day outside. I didn't even have to go to work today. So basically, we watching something scary. I'm kind of in the mood for something scary. And if you're watching this video and you don't like scary stuff, hey, you a trooper. I'll mess with you heavy. But anyways, man, cue the intro, JJ. What a boo bop gang gang. And we in this thing. Matter of fact, should I cut this off? Oh, my neck! See, I had on jeans.
Ow!
I still look good, so it's like, it don't even matter.
Funny looking bitch. Alright,
y'all, I'm gonna just hop right into this video because I don't want the video to be way too long because the video is already 14 minutes long. So I'm gonna try not to pause too much, but if I hear something stupid, you know me, I'm gonna pause. Make sure you got your snacks, get your Doritos Flamin' Hot Lemons, get some Mike and Ice if you like candy, and then get you a bottle of water, you know what I'm saying? Because this video is finna be lit. But let's hop right into the reaction, y'all. Dang, why do I always miss the button?
Have you ever made a friend online? One you've never met in real life, but whom you cherish nonetheless? For me, that friend was Adam.
Hold on. Have I made a friend online? Yeah, I have.
Guy I met on a forum on the deep web. Nothing sinister, just a place not categorized by the Google search engine, mostly used to discuss weird conspiracies and places to download movies in a less than legal manner. Adam was a funny person, and a genius when it came to pop culture, music, and movies. He'd seen or heard it all, which made it extremely easy to find new things to watch because he always had something to recommend. A few years passed, and we spoke almost every day, always using the same messaging service on our favorite dark web forum.
What?
I suggested more common sites to him, but
what?
On our favorite dark web forum.
How do you meet? I
just want to talk about mind control.
I just have too much common sense not to go on the dark web for one. And for two, if I meet anybody up there, I'm not keeping in touch with them. What? We already know this finna turn. What? Niggas is stupid.
He was adamant at keeping our friendship purely within the boundaries of that page, be it for privacy reasons or whatnot. Other than that, I never noticed anything off about him. We never really delved into more personal areas, but that's not exactly abnormal.
So
we never really put real life into the mix. In a way, I suppose he was my escape from the stress of real life. That was how it went on until last year, when Adam asked me a very peculiar question that deviated from our usual topics of discussion.
I just want to see how it was
What does the sun feel like?
Oh my god.
It's hot, I guess, I wrote back, waiting for some kind of punchline.
Oh, yeah,
he quickly changed the topic, and I was left confused, but decided not to push it any further, as I was eager to return to our argument about which season of Lost was the best. Then, a couple weeks later, he asked another similar question. Is it really that bright out there? What do you mean? I asked, the previous question still lingering in the back of my mind. Outside, in the movies, it's always so bright and windy. Is it really like that? He continued. I replied, "Why don't you just look out the window and tell me?" "I can't," he said. "What do you mean?" I said. He replied, "I've never been there before. I don't know how to get outside." I couldn't tell whether or not he was joking, but rather than calling him out on the prank, I decided to dig deeper. I asked, "You've never been outside? Like, for your entire life?"
Was he Cinderella?
Never, he said.
Or what's her name? Is it Cinderella?
What about your parents? Why are they keeping you locked up?
Hold on, I gotta figure this out. Is it Cinderella? Let down your hair. Is that Oh, that's Rapunzel. Is that Rapunzel? Cause Snow White is the hoe that was sleeping, right?
Little Uzi.
Cinderella's the one with the stepsisters and they did her dirty. That's Cinderella, right? Rapunzel is the one with the hair, ain't she? Ain't that it? That's Rapunzel, ain't it? Ain't the hoe from Tango Rapunzel? Or is that even a part of... Is that Rapunzel?
Did you just go to school, bitch?
It's yeah.
He went on to say,
I know my
"I've never
Disney.
seen them. I've been in this room my whole life. Only talking to a voice through a speaker. I wasn't even sure if any of the things I saw in the movies were real, but
Hold on, what?
after speaking to you, I know there's more out there. More than this dry, dark room." "Come on, man, you're f***ing with me, right?" I asked, a sense of dread rising in my body as the idea of a joke faded.
What the hell?
Then he logged off. Months passed, and I attempted to get in contact with Adam to no avail. He seemingly vanished from the forum, and I started to worry. Then, after being AWOL for 5 months, he sent me one final message. "Hey, sorry about our last discussion. Everything is fine, and I was just messing around with the never being outside thing.
He's
Let's
probably
just
getting
forget
his
it ever
ass
happened.
whooped for 5
Please."
months.
Before I even got the chance to respond, he logged back off.
Look, when I watch
kept
scary
rereading
stuff, I
the
swear
last
stuff be
message,
behind me,
and
cuz.
it didn't take long before I realized the message was a literal call for help, based on the first letter
what's
of
that
each
mean?
sentence. It was quite obvious, and I guess he got caught by whoever was holding him based on the first letter of each sentence.
Hey,
It was quite obvious.
Bro, that is a large stretch.
It didn't take long.
Okay, let me see. Every sentence, right? So that'll be an H, then period, I. That's crazy. I've never seen that before.
Long before I realized the message
I've
was a
never seen
literal
that
call
before.
for help, based on the
That
first
kind of
letter
gave me
of
chills,
each
but
sentence.
that's dope. That's
It
really
was
dope.
quite obvious,
This
and
old ass water.
I guess he got caught by whoever
There
was
you
holding
is.
him captive because I never heard back from him. Wherever Adam is now, if even he's alive, I hope you can find a way to feel the warmth of the sun like he so desperately wanted. I just wish I could help him.
Incredible.
I know you gotta get your money, but come on now. Story 2. What you talking about? How many stories in this joint? We got 3 stories.
Not to
All right,
brag, but I used to be a professional
this
beta
nigga
tester.
Oh my god.
Yikes.
Oh my god.
I'm about to grab my
But
chips.
I
I'm right
was
here, dog.
highly sought after.
I'm right here, dog.
Hand in lots of A-list titles and
This
series.
chips from where? Don't fuck.
My talent
no.
was purely
What?
God-given.
don't
I
know what
was
I'm talking about.
ambidextrous, with fast twitch fingers, equally agile on controllers and keyboards.
Am I chewing too loud?
But not anymore. Not since.
Oh, well.
Runaway Mouse. I'd gone snooping on the dark web, just
Oh my
research,
God.
mind you. I like keeping abreast of games being developed, even if they weren't for mass consumption. A job posting site was recruiting beta testers for a new game.
What the
I
hell is
downloaded the
that?
files, being cognizant of viruses and worms, and
Okay.
got cracking. The concept was simple. A small white on-screen mouse ran a two-dimensional, side-scrolling maze and ate up little
Are these
cheese
dark web
pellets
stories? It is. My dumb ass.
belonging to an unseen cat. Basically, it was a ripoff.
That
of
looks like a
Pac-Man.
rat or a
The
mouse.
soundtracks, looping lyrics were set to a melody similar to The Farmer in the Dell. The mouse runs the maze, the mouse runs the maze, everybody everywhere is part of the craze. The controls were simple. I
just
navigated
checking
the
you
mouse
out.
along the maze
No
using the
homo.
directional arrows on my keyboard, and clicked the computer's mouse button when I digested enough cheese and earned a momentary buff where I could chase and devour the paw prints. The mouse hunts the cat, the mouse hunts the cat, everybody everywhere beware of the rat. a pixelated rat would
This nigga
periodically
hairline is
storm
bothersome
the
as a
maze and eat
motherfucker.
all of the cheese. The mouse could
This
chase it
shit
off,
is
but only if you
weird.
expended cheese points. The mouse leaves no trace. The mouse leaves no trace. Everybody, everywhere, a snake's in the grass. The last lyric was really puzzling to me. It didn't really rhyme, and it seemed irrelevant to the on-screen action. There was never a snake or grass anywhere in the game. I assumed it applied to levels still being worked on.
I thought like the
And so I kept
The
playing.
background
It was
maybe could have been the
addictive.
grass.
Seriously, addictive. I had played my share of habit-forming games, but Runaway Mouse took a hold of me like a narcotic. The mouse runs the maze. The
hold of
mouse
me
runs
like
the
a
maze.
narcotic.
Everybody everywhere is part of the
like a
craze.
narcotic.
Even as I was eating maze after maze of cheese pellets, I knew that my real body wasn't getting any nourishment at all. I could feel hunger pangs and fatigue, but I couldn't stop playing. The mouse hunts the cat.
That game
The
looks
mouse
so
hunts the cat.
ass.
Everybody everywhere beware of the rat. I was vaguely aware of daylight coming and going, but the mouse needed to eat more cheese. Nothing else mattered to me. I wasn't sleeping. I was subconsciously allowing my body's digestive functions to happen, voiding my bladder and my bowels where I sat. The stench was horrible, but the mouse
Nigga, just
needed
get up.
to eat more cheese. The mouse leaves no trace. The mouse leaves no trace. Everybody, everywhere. A snake.
Nigga, get up.
grass. Eventually, I
I'd
blacked
be
out.
damned if I doodled on my
Next
damn
thing I
self.
remember was waking up in the hospital. Bright daylight was coming
On
through
a
the
sorry
window.
ass game
A
at that.
doctor and nurse were
That game
monitoring
is
me.
sorry. That doctor, nurse, whatever the hell
Morning
she is, she
sunshine.
looks stupid.
The elderly nurse said.
Oh my
How do you
bad.
feel? The doctor asked. Groggy and confused? That's to be expected. We had to put you out for the procedure. What procedure? The doctor and nurse made eye contact. My memories were hazy, but I
Look at his
couldn't
penis
recall
cut
telling
off.
myself that I'd
His
never
dick gone.
stopped playing Runaway Mouse unless I removed my hands from the controls. We found you in a catatonic state, lying next to your computer. You'd lost a lot of blood.
Catatonic.
blood
Let's
from-
spell it. What do you say? Catatonic. All right. C. Cat. A. Cat. T. Atonic. A-T. Onic. O-N-I-C. Catatonic. If I got that right, I'm a motherfucking goat.
Okay, whatever. Fuck you.
What? The nurse put a hand on my shoulder. You're going to need a prosthetic, but with enough physical therapy and time, you'll be as good as new. I lifted my arms. My right wrist now ended in a bandaged stump.
Wait, why?
You chewed through your right wrist. We found your bite marks on your severed hand's flesh, and still clutched in your severed hand was the mouse to your computer.
What the hell?
Ever since its invention, I've dreamed of getting my hands on some Fanta-black liquid. Imagine a substance so dark it can obscure any three-dimensional shape and turn it into a mere shadow. I just never thought something so harmless and fun could cause my demise. While it's available for purchase
did
under
it cause your
certain
demise if you're telling the
circumstances,
story?
it's not something just anyone can buy. Of course,
I know.
if you know where to look
I'm not trying to
on
be
the
that
dark
guy,
web,
but come on
you
now.
can get anything you want. To be fair, of all the horrible things found on the dark
All
web,
these niggas' hairlines,
Fanta-black
what's going on?
liquid
how it
is
is.
among the less sinister options. After just a few clicks, I found a vial of paint available for a cheap price. Even if the paint much
had to
of
go
the
do something real
less
quick.
sinister options. After just a few clicks, I found a vial of paint available for a cheap price. Even if the paint turned out to be fake, it wouldn't be much of a loss. With little thought, I purchased one vial and eagerly awaited its arrival. The inconspicuous package arrived
So he
a
bought
couple
paint?
days later. It was a cube-shaped vial full of the light-absorbing liquid. If not for the
Okay.
feel it had in my hand, I never could have guessed it was a solid object. I was ecstatic, but after a thorough inspection, I noticed a minuscule crack in the vial. A drop of liquid seeped out through the hole and fell gently onto the doormat below. What looked like a hole into an infinite void formed on the mat. I bent down to remove it with a dirty cloth. As I started rubbing the spilled paint, I could have sworn my fingers slipped deeper into the stain. I immediately retrieved
You can't tell me it didn't look like what it looked like.
my hand, certain I must have been mistaken. After the initial shock wore off, I dipped the cloth back into the stain, and it just sank through.
Hey, that's kind
After
of
several
dope.
attempts
I mean,
at poking
you don't
the
know where it
stain,
leads to,
I
but-
lifted the doormat up to check if the hole continued into the floor. To my surprise, it
So
was
is it like a
clean.
portal?
At that point, I was more curious than afraid. Baffled
Yeah,
by the
I would be too,
impossible
no cap.
spots, I could do little more than stare in awe at the thing. Then I came to the horrifying realization that the hole was growing.
Throw
I
the mat
grabbed a few
outside.
plastic bags and chucked the doormat into one, making sure to double
God.
wrap and seal. I
Oh,
thought the
God.
situation was under control, that I'd contained the ever-growing void.
Well, you taking the longest fucking time.
Alas, one of the Vantablack drops
Oh.
had hit my hand. Without hesitation, I rushed to scrub my hands, praying that it wasn't too late. Unfortunately, no matter
It was too
what
late?
kind of soap I applied, the stain wouldn't budge. By the time I'd given up, it had already grown to the size of a marble.
Damn.
In absolute panic, I rushed to the doctor. Despite his initial doubt at my situation, he quickly came around once he saw the bizarre spot on my hand. He prodded me with needles and various probes, futilely attempting to get samples for the lab. All the while, it kept growing. Before long, it had consumed my entire right hand, though it was
This I don't know. This thing is kind of questionable. You know what I'm saying? He's black. Is that a? Are we gonna make that a scary thing now? What's going on?
still visible as a silhouette. I had long since lost any use of it, leaving it as little more than a limp appendage. Days went by, and the darkness grew up my arm. In a last-ditch attempt at saving my life, the doctors all agreed that amputation would be the only feasible solution. It was a devastating loss, but worth it
Wait,
to save my
shouldn't
life.
since his whole hand is the portal jink, right? And every time you touch it, he goes through it. Shouldn't his hands or like the bed go through the thing? And then if they try to cut it, shouldn't it go through it? I don't know. Man, I'm on
I
something.
signed
I don't
all the
know.
necessary papers using my one remaining hand, and they rushed me into an operating room. While the
Hell
surgery
no.
only lasted
I
a few
would've died with
hours,
both them
rehabilitation would take weeks, if not months. The doctors entered my room as I awoke from the anesthesia. Though the surgery had been a clear success, they didn't seem happy. What's
Probably because it's still
wrong?
growing on you.
I asked with a groggy voice. "I'm sorry," was all he could say. The drugs had already started to wear off, and I could feel pins and needles all over my body. I lifted up my shirt and screamed at the horrific sight. My entire torso was covered in hundreds and hundreds of tiny holes. It looked as if
Just remember
chunks
that,
of flesh had been
trypophobia
removed,
stuff.
replaced only by that god-forsaken Vantablack paint.
Yeah.
We think the substance has spread through your
Ain't that the
bloodstream.
same doctor from the other
There's
story?
nothing more we can do, the doctor said. That was 3 days ago. Since then, I've lost my legs, my arms, and most of my internal organs. I haven't felt my heartbeat since yesterday, and I can hardly breathe. What terrifies me even more than the liquid replacing my entire body is the fact that I haven't died yet. Whatever the case,
Yeah, I was just about to
I've
say that.
been
What the hell?
isolated. The doctors put me in a special chamber to prevent the further spread of the liquid. I guess it's for the best. I'll be completely replaced by Vantablack soon. I just hope it kills me first. Thanks for watching. You you can watch a similar video here. And
You know, even though that video, hold on, let me pause that. Even though the video didn't really have the intention that we came here for, we wanted to watch something scary. This is more like, it wasn't really a horror story. It's more like a thriller, you know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, the videos, the story times is actually lit. But y'all go ahead and go subscribe to bro in the description down below, man. That's some dark web reactions, y'all, on those 3 stories. If y'all like these, I can do another part to this. I actually love watching these type of videos. I actually watch them by myself all the time in my room. But I love each and every one of y'all. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. But I'll see y'all tomorrow. It's your boy Drew J, ABCDFG, HOJ, signing off.